Okay, good evening, everybody. Let me go on to the attendees list here, see as you guys join up. Good evening, good evening. Okay, I have, as always, the chat function is open, so we can chat on there. And Q&A. Tracy, good evening. Hello from Abu Dhabi. Nice. So the Q&A, guys, is open all the way. Good evening from Spain. Hi, everything going well? Lisa, hey, Linda, Peter, nice to see all the names. Okay, so we're talking social media and wildlife photography. Like I said, I'm going to keep the chat function open like always. The Q&A is there. I'm going to pop in and out of there. But I think this one's going to be a little bit more of a, hey, Elissa, hello, Sally, hi. Kristen, nice to see all the names again. Okay, I'm just going to wait for a couple of minutes for everybody to join in. And then we are going to get going. Where is my coffee? I'm actually not having coffee because it's quite late. I'm having this. Any guesses? Go. You're rolling my sleeves up. It's about to get serious in here. Negative on GNT. No, it's not a gin. It's not a gin. It's a bit of a new thing I'm playing with. And it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. Ah, yes, tequila on water. It's a sipping tequila, which I'm quite enjoying the last while. I love my whiskeys. You're quite right, Sally. But yeah, just trying something and it's quite enjoying it. But it's not the stuff that you buy, the cheap stuff that like you can clean diesel engines with. It's not that. So anyway, we're digressing off the bat. Adam has it. Okay, so let's get going. Social media and wildlife photography. What we're going to do is, how's it, Chris? I'm going to chat to you guys about social media, the why, the how, which platforms. We're then going to look at the settings and the dimensions you need for wildlife photography or for any photography to put it out there, because I'm sure you guys must have had it where you process an image, it looks amazing, you post it on Facebook, and when you go back to look at it, it's like, ugh, yeah? And it's just all horrible and stuff. So we're going to talk about that. And then maybe just one or two hacks for you, not a hack, strategies for you guys to look at and to try and use to build your own brands as well. So I'm going to be asking for quite a bit of engagement on this one. So in the chat function, as give me feedback as we go, because I'm going to make this kind of tailor. I've got some documents which I've put together, which if you guys are keen, once we've gone through them later on, if you're keen, I can email them to you tomorrow, but we can talk about that as we go. For now though, in the chat function, please, what is your social media platform that you are using most right now? Please go. The social media platform that you are using most. Turgay, hi, Instagram. I've got a Facebook. I've got lots of Instagrams, only Instagrams. Okay. There should be an Instagram. I've got a WhatsApp. That's interesting. Instagram photos, Facebook for friends. Just starting with Instagram. Okay. Now, next question. How many of you are currently using TikTok as a platform? I'm not expecting many answers here. Okay. Negative, no, yes. Who's a yes there? Okay, I've got a yes. Okay, no, not at all. Okay, I have it, but I'm too scared to post. Charlotte, you should crush it on there. Come on, you must do this. Insta and Facebook. Okay. How many of you had a MySpace account? A MySpace account before Facebook? Any of you had a MySpace account? Okay, that's way, way, way back. I actually opened one, but I had to hack it from South Africa to get it. No, I'm too old. Okay, and I'm taking, we all had Facebook. Here's the thing, right? When we talk about social media is where we spend our time. Okay, if you go and look on your phone and you open up the platforms you use most often, or the apps that you use most often, more than likely, 5 out of the top 10 will be social media apps. YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so forth. Okay, people had MySpace accounts, and we're going to get into this now. People had MySpace accounts. This thing called Facebook happened. Oh, no, it'll never happen. A year later, MySpace doesn't exist, right? Facebook happened. The whole world went, oh my God, we jumped on Facebook. Now, Facebook's aged up dramatically. Why? Because every time that a new platform comes up, the kids normally jump first. The young people go over. old people are like, oh, no. Like, okay, let me ask you this quickly as well. How many of you have been or currently play on Snapchat? Go. How many of you currently, I know, Elissa, you're on there. Anybody else? I've got a yes, not too much. Okay. No, again, too old. Here's the thing. Limited. Okay, have been still sometimes. My clients are not on these platforms. That's an interesting discussion, Denise. So when Snapchat happened, right? Snapchat gained quite a big popularity and very quickly, right? I'm too old. Hold that thought, Tracy. Snapchat, for example, gained, it's not as common as it once was, exactly, but let me tell you the story. So Snapchat started gaining momentum, right? We spoke to people and we said, okay, listen, let's get on there and start pushing wildlife photography as a narrative. What we do, the stories we do on Instagram was only Snapchat, and then Instagram stole it from them, right? Snapchat. So they started, and we would think, that's just for like young girls and they're sending booby pics and dick pics and stuff to each other. You thought that, you know you did. But in the first 6 months of going onto Snapchat, right, and I got 2 very, very big bookings off it because people were paying attention to the platform. If you want to do something with your wildlife photography, sell a print, sell a book, sell a safari, just gain audience, get people to your website, you need to be where the attention is. And at that time, Snapchat was where the attention was going, right? And then then what happened was Instagram stole stories, right? Yes, we do. So Instagram stole stories, and that is now the main thing. So we are going to focus quite a bit on Instagram in this, right? Because it is where the world's attention is. But, and this is a very important but, do not put all your eggs in one basket, because as we are speaking to each other here now, Instagram is over its peak. Instagram peaked kind of last year. It's on the down, and it's going to be a long down, should be, but you need to be agile with your message. Okay. How many of you currently post on Twitter? Okay. Not really. No more. No Twitter. Not again. Again, no. Yes. Okay. Once in a while. No patience. Okay, Grace, I like that. I'm only reading, no posting. I'm the same on that. Now, what people used to do, and this is, I'm getting to the wildlife photography stuff, right? Is people used to go onto Facebook or on Twitter, and you could have a thing where you post the same image and caption, and it just did it to both. That's failed at fundamental level, because I go onto Twitter. I don't post there much. I share links. Twitter as a distribution platform, great. Twitter as a way to kind of get news is great. So I get my news from Twitter. It often breaks on there first before the news channels. So I've got set it up so that I follow Twitter for my news and for links. Facebook for me, I haven't used since forever. It lost its attraction to me. Instagram as a platform for business and personal, golden. Snapchat, I'm still playing with a little bit, not much. TikTok, you need to pay attention there, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. So if we look at social media, can you quickly, in the chat function for me again, what is your goal with social media? Why do you post? Tell me in the chat function, please. Sell something, gain audience, have someone tell you it's nice, whatever. Why do you post on social media? Sharing, I like it. Share unique image, stay in touch with folks. I enjoy sharing. Gain audience and feedback, I like it. Build a business, contact with friends, share experiences, build a business. Okay, gain audience is a common one here. Planning a travel site. Okay. To engage and tell stories, connect with people, connect with fellow photographers, raise awareness, to connect with like-minded people and promote photography, to connect with, okay, there's a common theme here. We want to connect with each other. You want to connect with like-minded people. You might want to just gain audience, right? How do you gain audience? It's easy. You pay money and you get lots of followers. Don't do that because the algorithm picks it up. There's ways you can do this. Okay. One more question for me here. As wildlife photographers, which you all are, and I'm going to tell you a quick story and then we're going to dive into this. How many of you are currently on your feed? We talk Instagram specific. How many of you are posting not just wildlife images, but other things as well. A selfie, something of you and your camera, a picture of your feet up on a deck watching the waterhole. How many of you are posting other stuff, not just wildlife? You have to. I'm liking a lot of yeses. I'm liking a lot of yeses. I have a different account, used to, but not anymore. Personal account, photography. I have 2 accounts. I am, okay, cool, really. Used to, but not anymore. Okay, here is the thing. Facebook for personal, Instagram just for my photos. We did an exercise about a year ago, right? So we had a strategy session at the beginning of the year as a company. And I run the marketing and branding. My dog has his own Instagram page. That's golden. I follow a French bulldog on TikTok and on Instagram with like 3.5 million followers. It's a rock star. Anyway, so we did this thing where I said to the guys, okay, we need to be different on social media. If someone just gets onto Instagram and they scroll, yeah, why would they stop on your work? And I'm asking you guys this question as well, because 3 years ago, you could post a beautiful images of a lion and people would think, ooh, that's pretty cool. It is so saturated now, it's frightening. What makes yours stand out? If people see your work, because Instagram doesn't show all of what you post to all the followers. There's algorithms. We'll talk a little bit about that. So I said to the guys, okay, do this. I said to Michael Lapshe, you guys will know him, go onto every one of our Wild Eye Guys' feed on Instagram only and do this. Open Instagram and go scroll, stop, screenshot on the grid. Do that with every one of the guys. Go to some of our clients, do the same thing. Go onto their Instagram, scroll, stop, screenshot. And then do it with like competitors and other wildlife photographers. We got about 50 of these screenshots off Instagram, right? And then we jumbled them up. We took the names off, we jumbled them up, and we presented them in the strategy session and said, okay, cool, which is one of ours? And you just go click through all these Instagram profiles. Most of the time you couldn't see the difference because it's just more wildlife. It is so saturated and so difficult to stand out that you have to catch people's attention. The stuff, and it's almost contradictory if you listen to it, the stuff that caught the attention, right, was wildlife with a picture of me, boom, selfie, for example, or a vehicle with a lion, or a picture of a camera, or whatever the case might be. That stopped us on the grid. Now, depending on how your wildlife photography feed is set up and who you follow on that account, if you go and you open and you go scroll, you're going to see a lot of wildlife. And people who follow you are also probably into wildlife photography. So they're also following a lot of wildlife photographers. What's going to make them stop on your image? We're going to talk hashtags now, right? What's going to make them stop on your image? The hashtags that you use is important, but when you're looking through the feed, it's not there. It's when people search the hashtag that becomes important. But you need to think, what is it that makes people stop on your feed? Quality of image, yes. Color, yes. We'll talk all about those little strategy things. But I want to quickly start you guys off. Editing style, yes. A different image, yes. Inspirational, yes. They're not going to stop for my old face. I love that. Focus on different unusual wildlife activities, sure. Let me ask you guys this. When you scrolling, be interesting, be different. I like that, Ida, be different. Something personal, absolutely. So when you're scrolling through your feed, and you see an interesting image that you stop and think, oh, that's cool. What is the first thing you do? Do you double tap and then move on? Or do you also go look at that photographer's page, his actual feed or her feed? What do you do? When you find an interesting image, what do? You go see who it is. You go and look at their work. So that is the gateway drug, right? It has to be a really awesome image. But most of the time, we'll go and check who it is. The same thing is if you go through your activity, through a little heart, and you scroll and see the activity, and you say, Gerry van der Walt liked your image, right? Or especially a comment, or followed you. If someone follows you, there's a very good chance you're going to go and check his page, her page, and see who is this. You might follow back. It's how we work. It's how this thing works, right? So you need to make sure that your images are strong enough, and it's difficult, but when they land on your profile, on yours, Adam Kutzer wildlife photography, whatever it is, right? Sorry, I should know that. But when they land on there and they look at the first 9 images, are you making an impact? Is it just wildlife, 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 all kind of a green, browny color if you're from Africa? Or is there color that pops? So there's a couple of techniques and stuff we can play with and ideas you can use to make your feed more interesting when people land there. Right. Now, quick question for you guys. Again, like I said, we're going to be interactive on this one. How many of you use Lightroom and export for your images out of Lightroom? Should be. There's quite a lot here. Okay. Now, do you, when you export out of Lightroom, are you guys considering the sizes that you need to export at? Or do you do full size? How do you do this? Are you keeping that in mind? 4x5, I like that, Linda, well played. Brendan Byrne, yes, I taught you that. I like it. Okay, so here's the thing. The first 1280 longest side, I like it. Yes, I like to keep it in mind. No crop to resize, yeah. Different sizes work better on different platforms, 100%. But what are they? Okay, you guys would have seen Facebook historically is atrocious. It is atrocious with image quality. If it had to upsize or downsize, it's shocking. Instagram's better on the mobile platform, but you do not want Instagram to take a small image and scale it up for you. Pixelation, loss of quality. So let me quickly, I'm going to take you now to a Word document that I kind of just stuck together, and I'm happy to email this to you guys. I'll just put a logo on it and send it to you, right? But this is important. This is also recorded, so you can go check this on YouTube, but if you want this, I can email this to you. The document I'm going to show you now, and I've kind of put it for me in importance at this stage for wildlife photographers. I will get to techniques of how you can get attention to sell something. Quick show of hands again for me here in your in the chat. How many of you are trying to sell prints right now? To sell wildlife prints, either as a business or just kind of loosely on the side? Okay, no. There's some yeses. I'm not sure how to do that. Just sold one, Karina, well done. Okay, I wish. Charlotte, it's easier than you think. Let me give you an idea, and we'll talk about this now. Calendars sometimes. How do you sell prints online? You give them away free first. I shit you not. I shit you not. You give it away for free. For those of you that have been following me for a while, right? And what I do is on my birthday or on Christmas, I do this thing where I play a game and people can grab the image and I send them the free print. If they want another one, I'll send them that as well. My game is not selling prints, right? But I give prints away for free. What happens? People come back and say, ooh, I found more. Can I buy more? We'll talk about selling. Actually, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now before we go into this. What is the worst thing? Is someone trying to sell you something when you're not interested? Imagine this, the online world, right? Lisa, so what I would do is I would give the digital file away. If I sell a print, obviously there's a cost implication, but yeah, I normally just send a digital print and they can print it up. So here's the thing. Think of social media as a cocktail party. We're all interacting. We're on Instagram tomorrow morning. Hey, Linda, how's it going? Morning, Brendan. How's it? And we talk like that. And it's like message forward and back, forward and back. Think of it as a cocktail party. You are not in this digital cocktail party going to just walk up to someone and start selling whatever you have. You're going to chat. Hey, how's it going? I like your image. I like your dress, your logo, whatever. Oh, where are you from? Oh, have you been on safari? Yeah, we have. Oh, where have you been? Talk. And then you get to the point. If you and I are standing at a cocktail party and we're interacting on a feed, on a comment section, for example, on one of my images, and then John comes out of nowhere and they say, hey, you have to buy my print. Why is it acceptable in the online world to do that? But in the real world, you want to punch someone in the face. If you and I are talking at a cocktail party, John walks up and stands here and says, hey, you guys have to buy my print. No, John, piss off, right? But in the online world, people do this. They do this. It doesn't work. It is still, social media is still social. So you have to respect that kind of, what would it be? The flirting stage of friendship, of getting to know each other. You're not just going to dive in. Yeah. Get to know someone, chat to them. Maybe they don't want to print. Maybe they want to buy a book. But if you just storm in, you'll never know. So make sure that that you think of social media still in real terms. If you're a human on social media, you will win. Right, but we'll get more to techniques now when we dive in. Okay, so I'm going to take you to a share screen of, where is it? Let me just quickly see this. And this is one of the documents. Let me just do this for you. Size of the giveaway prints. I go full res. Okay. This is not the one you need to see. I'm just quickly finding the right. Here we go. Okay. In the chat function, please, can you guys confirm for me that you are seeing this Word document that I have on screen? Okay. So we're just going to quickly run through here. And guys, like I said, I'm happy to mail this to you. Email me tomorrow or after this. So for Instagram specifically, there's different type of posts, right? Square photo, one-on-one. This here is the ideal. This is from Instagram. This is what they recommend as image size. Now, from experience and looking at the research, you can go bigger and downscale on Instagram. That's okay. You do not want to come in under and have it stretched up. It will pixelate. Landscape photograph, 1.91 by 1. That is the biggest landscape ratio that you can have, right? But, and those of you that have traveled with me and we've done some one-on-ones and stuff, this for me is gold in Instagram. Why? Because how do we as humans live? We are living like this. Yeah? We are just scrolling our lives away. And if you're lucky, your image is on someone's screen for maybe a second. If they stop, oh, nice, double tap, move. So the portrait 4:5 ratio for Instagram works well because it gives you the most real estate on the screen. I love that. So if you're deciding what your next post is going to be, right, consider the portrait sizing over here. Like I said, these are the specs as per Instagram from their website or their back end, if you will, but you can go bigger than this. This is minimum, right? Instagram stories, obviously 9:16. There's the maximum. IG cover photos and so on and so forth. Just scrolling down here, and guys, like I said, you're more than welcome. I'll email you all of this. Recommended Instagram sizes. There it is. Instagram stories, minimum video sizes. My next important platform right now, and I'm playing a lot on there. I embarrass myself completely, but it's fun, right? Is TikTok. People think TikTok is just Musical.ly, which is the old platform, dancing and singing, right? Go and look at the majority of viral content that's being shared on Instagram right now. It's from TikTok. You don't have to go and dance or sing. You can make, and I've done many of these, and it's already resulted in inquiries for me without even starting to sell on the platform. Just, I say, nobody asked for this, but here is my 50 favorite elephant images, and it's a slideshow. It works. The attention is there right now. Massive. Right. So that's TikTok. Next down, YouTube. Okay. Now, for some of you who do not do video, do not underestimate the value of creating a YouTube channel for yourself. If you've got a Gmail account, you have it. Put a little banner up, and every trip that you do, or every species, right? Every species, do a slideshow. Get some cool free music. You can get it anywhere on the internet. Put a slideshow together and put your Instagram handle at the end with your email address. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, but people who do photography don't go there. Slideshows is a video. Put music on it and bang it out there. Put some cool hashtags and carry on. We're going to talk about hashtags now. All right. From there, Elissa, that's great. More of that. More of that. Right. Recommended Facebook sizes. So here's all the different sizes for Facebook, from the banner image to the recommended post images and so on and so forth, right? I'm not going to go into details on each one. I will email this to you if you guys want it. Down from there, Twitter, for some of you that play there, and then LinkedIn as well. Now, I had a chat with my guys in the office, and we said, you know what? LinkedIn is great for business. It's like headhunting and stuff, but we're starting to do micro vlogging and blogging on there. A short little picture of, for example, our Mara camp, people around the fire, and you write a short little piece on team building, for example, because that speaks to the corporate world. If you're trying to sell prints, yeah, think about that, and you're targeting the office environment, prep a whole bunch, right? And try and sell on there. Let me check here. For adventure marketing, which social media platform do you personally think is best? Adventure, I'm taking it adventure travel, right? I would, because of adventure travel being a very visual thing, like mountain climbing or bush or beach, that worked, right? That works on there. So this is not wildlife photography specific. This is for everything. Instagram, because we are visual, works. TikTok, because of the attention it's getting, works. YouTube, if you're doing adventure travel, right, marketing, think of videos on YouTube, get a YouTube channel, right? So that is all of those. I'm happy to send you guys this. The next one I want to quickly share with you, and I will email you guys this as well. I see the questions, guys. I will get there. I want to just share this with you as well. This is just a quick little breakdown of Instagram. I'll send this all to you. Instagram photos, the 1x1, the sizing, 1x9, 4x5, Instagram stories, and so on and so forth. If you guys want this, it's yours. I will bang it off on an email tomorrow. Okay, so now, let's quickly go to questions, and then I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can use Instagram search function and hashtags to try and build your audience. Okay, Q&A first. So let me just quickly get to the Q&A over here. Where are we? Carla asks, I keep wondering about the map on your wall. Is it painted on? That thing? No, it's actually, it's like a puzzle, right? It's a puzzle that I stuck on, and you put it in there. There's actually 3 little watches that I can put in, but they're not working. Becky asks, is TikTok not more for videos? How do you share your photos on it? Go and follow me on TikTok. It's the same username. You got either 15 seconds or 60-second videos. Make slideshows. But you have to respect the platform and put text on it and kind of stuff. But make video slideshows, put it on TikTok. Hashtags, go. You have to. Charlotte says, can you rely on the insights in Instagram? So if you have a business account in Instagram, those insights can be handy. It doesn't mean much if you don't use it, but it's nice feedback. The whole thing that happened, where I'm sure you guys must have heard this, is if you're posting on Instagram, do it at 9 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 on a Wednesday, and 2 o'clock on a Friday. They used to do that. Right? And I like that idea. And that's changed though, because the algorithm doesn't work that way anymore. If we have time, we can do a little bit of kind of algorithm talk, but we'll get there right at the end. Denicia says, FYI, Magisto is a great tool to make videos with your pictures, music, and captions. Super easy. Great. Magisto, guys, look it up. Thanks, Denise. That's cool. Moving down here, Tracy asks, would you hashtag for a single relevant image or your whole page? Example, hashtag wildlife if you're posting another type of image. Okay, I'm going to go into hashtags in a bit now, but to answer that, you can, on any single Instagram post, add up to 30 hashtags, 30. So what I'm going to show you now is one of the ways that you can kind of go deeper. So let's talk hashtags. I'll come back to these. Come back to the Q&A now. So hashtags, you should, 2 things to consider. Let's just talk cosmetics firstly. If you're writing a paragraph caption, right? What did I post today? Aurora Borealis. Saw this in Iceland, was amazing. The wind was blowing, and I write a caption. Try not to put hashtags mixed in. Why? The caption is written for humans. We read. The hashtags is written for the algorithm and for the search phrases. So to me, it makes sense to split those up and to have human, talk normal, hashtags. It's difficult to read when there's hashtags and stuff in between. So if you look at mine, we split it up and it just ends it off at the bottom. Now, easiest way to hashtag is always have 5 to 6, maybe 7 of the standards per image. What that means is if I post an image of a lion, I would start and I would always do hashtag Wild Eye SA because that's my company. I would then start big. Hashtag Africa, hashtag South Africa, hashtag Madikwe, hashtag Big 5, hashtag Lion. Immediately, you've told me what it's about, right? You told me what it's about. I know it's Africa, then South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, whatever, and you go deeper, deeper, deeper from there. That gives you about 6 or 7. Then you're going to look and say, okay, what is this? What do I want to do? Wildlife photography, wildlife photographer, fine art prints, photography book, photo safari. Then you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. But here's the thing, and I want to show you this now. Okay, keep the questions coming. I'm going to quickly show you this. If you look at, let me just get you there. Okay, can you guys just confirm you are seeing my Instagram page on your screens, please? Just to confirm, perfect. Okay, so if I look at the feed, right? A couple of things, we'll get to cosmetics now. But if you, and most of you, I'm sure, are using hashtag, let's search this, wildlife photography. I'm sure you guys are adding that. So look here, 12.9 million posts that use that hashtag. Okay, so you have to add that in because that's what you're doing. However, don't just do that. Roll deeper. Watch this. You click on that hashtag, you're doing your phone as well. So then it says, okay, that's how many there are. This is where the gold starts. Related hashtags, and that's on your phone as well. Start using some of these because they don't have as many followers or as many images in the feed, which means it's more likely someone will see your image. So look at the main hashtag that you're using, wildlife photography. Look at the related ones. You can do it on your phone as well when you search, and then start using others. So let's look at this, for example, wildlife_photography, 372,000. So would you rather have your image show 1 out of 12, 13 million or 1 out of 300,000? Use both. And you can keep going here. Related hashtags, wildlife vision, wildlife photo, and so on and so forth. Yes, it takes a little bit of work, but it is worth it if you want to start scaling your views up. It works. Now, another thing. Let's say, for example, I'm going to backtrack us here for a second. Let's say we want to work on wildlife photography as a hashtag, right? What is this? Lisa asks, is there a limit to how many hashtags you should use? Can you do too many? You are limited in an Instagram feed post to 30 hashtags and in a story 15. In a story it's 15. I'm going to give you some cool tricks on stories now in a sec. Okay, but watch this. Another idea. If you are stuck for hashtags, right? Ask the internet to help you. Ask the internet to help you. Okay, so wildlife photography is a hashtag. I'm going to copy that, and then you're going to use a website like the following one. Okay, hashtag generator. So watch what happens. I paste in here, wildlife photography, top generate. This now looks through all platforms, right? And then underneath here, it's working very hard. And down here, it gives me relevant hashtags that I can use. They linked. This is very, very handy, right? So for example, let's say we are going gorilla tracking. You have an image of gorilla tracking. So let's see, gorilla tracking, generate. And this then spits out more images, more hashtags that's linked to this. Let me just push this out. That didn't work. Gorilla space tracking. Often when I'm doing a marketing campaign and I want to get like Iceland and I want to spit out different ones. Okay, that's not working. Let me try Iceland. I'm going a bit hard here. Iceland, generate. Because we just use Iceland. So now Iceland, Icelandic, Iceland travel, Iceland air, Iceland trip. You can then literally do this, right? Cut and paste and delete the ones you don't want. Now you're starting to roll deeper. Destination, South Africa, Botswana. Use these things, right? Iceland love. We can try that. So this works beautifully well for you to start getting deeper and more hashtags onto your post. Jacob asks, what do you think of the create private groups on Insta with people supporting each other, giving likes and comments? I don't like that at all. So what happens with that is we, for example, all get together, right? All of us, we say we make a private group, and every time that Tracy posts something, we all go and like it. And if Gerry posts, we all go and like it. Eventually, it picks it up. It's too structured. Eventually, the algorithm picks it up. So yeah, that is that's on that. Right. So quickly get back to the questions, and we'll go on from there. I'm going to show you some cool stuff on the stories. Brendan says, hey, mate, BBC Earth recently shared one of my Svalbard images. They have 5.8 million followers, and my image was liked more than 60,000 times. That's a big-ass number. I gained 8 new followers. What gives? That's an interesting one. Where in the caption, Brendan, did they actually put your name? Right at the bottom, right at the top, those things matter. Pam asks, to watermark or not on Instagram? I would. I ran the watermark webinar a couple of days ago, and it's definitely something I would do, but I would keep it small so it doesn't ruin the image, right? Roderick asks, what is your workflow to go from Lightroom to Instagram? Do you use Lightroom mobile? I don't actually. So what I do is I go from Lightroom and I then create my SmugMug link in there and it posts to my SmugMug website. I would then, if necessary, go onto my SmugMug on here. I would then download the image and post up because it's all watermarked already. You can go straight from Lightroom in, right? Interesting, Turgo, we'll get there. So I go from Lightroom to SmugMug and then I post, because from SmugMug, I can post to any platform out of the app, which is golden. Roderick, do you also share your TikTok videos on Instagram? I haven't posted them to my feed yet, but I have shared some to my story. We'll talk about that difference now. So TikTok for me is a fun thing. It's a creative thing. It's like bubblegum for the mind sometimes, but it's super creative, which is great. But I would definitely check it. Go and follow me. There's some interesting stuff on there. Karina asks, never really knew what to do in a story. I always see these boring new post stories. Don't want to do one of those. What would be interesting for people? Phenomenal question. Phenomenal question. So answer me this quickly. Where's my chat? Let me just open the chat so we get here, right? If I open Instagram, if you open Instagram, right, comes up like that, like you guys know, right? There's a post in their stories. Do you start by scrolling up or do you scroll through the stories first? What do you do? Do you check the stories first or do you check the feed first? Stories is a heavy winner by the look of it. Stories first. Okay. Scroll for 2, then stories. Okay. Feed first, mix, depending who the stories are first. That's the answer right there. What is the reason? Right? Because Instagram originally had stories differently, but now Instagram, the stories are at the top. What happened? Go back, right? So I would normally go and I would scroll through these, right? And I'll watch about 5 or 6. If it's boring and I'll move on. I'll scroll and see if I know someone and then go on. The attention has shifted dramatically from the feed to the story. So Karina, you say those boring new post stories. It's true. It can get a bit much, but I would recommend that you do that, but not your new work. What I would do is I would go and create a story, take a blank picture, black picture, type, looking back, text, black story, post it, scroll way down in your feed and repost old content back into your story. What that does is it makes people deep dive down into your feed and they see old work and then they'll start working their way back up. But also your image. I posted a couple of images today, 2 actually, and they probably, people, if you follow me, you might not have seen them yet. The algorithm might only show it to you tomorrow or the next day. However, my story is in real time. So I post that up to my story. You open your Instagram. If you're following me, I'm in the front. That's why I do so many stories, because I get the attention in the stories and then pull it down to the feed. Does that make sense? It works beautifully. Now, you don't have to go and talk as much as I do. I know I can talk a lot, but do not dismiss stories as a big attention kind of grabber to get people to your work. I would even go as far as to say that if you post an image on your feed, right, go into Lightroom one day when you're bored, we're going to talk about the algorithm in a second, and go and export 20 of your, not your favorite, but nice images as 16:9s and post them to your story. Just boom, 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 because people consume that. And if you got 10 of 20 of them, post one every half an hour during the day. Why? Because if someone opens their Instagram, your story will be first. It's about attention. You can't sell shit to anybody online if you don't have their attention. You're not going to gain audience if you don't have their attention. You're not going to get awareness or anything else if you don't have people's attention. And the attention is currently on stories, then on the feed, and on things like TikTok and YouTube. It's important, very important. Okay, we're going to keep going, and I'll show you some tips and tricks we can look at. Ludwig says, would you recommend posting on Instagram for your phone or from your PC? Interesting question. In the past, about 6 months ago, we did this exercise where I would post an image back to back, one from the computer and one from my phone. And they, at that stage, favored mobile. So the mobile post got shown more. Right now, it's evened out a bit because stories and stuff kind of pushes the attention. I still do it from mobile because for me, it feels like the algorithm works a little bit better. But scheduling on something like Hootsuite and having stuff go out still works. So right now, Ludwig, it's pretty much of a muchness. Shaheen asks, do you copy and paste your hashtags or type them every time you post? As I've heard with the algorithm, it's better to type. Yes, the reason the algorithm like you typing is because it's easy to spam. So bots and stuff would literally go and have 30 hashtags posted in the first comment and the second comment and the third comment. And Instagram started kicking against that because otherwise it was spam. So I've got like 3 or 4 that I type, that I kind of paste in the standard wild eye. You say this is wild eye, but normally I just type them out. I mean, it takes 30 seconds. So I prefer typing personally. Marie, do you know how many countries that don't show number of likes? I can't see them, only mine if I check. So this is one of those things that Instagram said they're going to roll out through the board, was to not show how many likes an image has, right? Because, and this is a big deal, you would, for example, Linda, good call there. So some countries don't show how many, it'll say, for example, Gerry and others like this. Because it had to do with mental health and people getting hysterical, and after they post it and they don't get 10 likes immediately, they'll delete it, and influencers were all crazy and they were like, oh man, I can't get money. So they're taking the likes away. As far as I know, there's only 6 or 7 countries in the world that tried that in, but it hasn't rolled out all the way yet. Marie, haven't gone there yet. Okay, Linda's got a good question here. Is it not only your followers that see your stories? So how does that gain you an audience? Let me show you a pretty cool trick which works on stories. So I'm going to take a picture of you guys, of me on the screen. Boom. Okay. So there we go, right? My story. What you can do, and this is important, you can do this with location. You have to add location to every single post and every single story. So I would put, for example, webinar in my story now. I'll show you now. Hashtag Wild Eye SA. Hashtag wildlife. Okay, so those are my hashtags, right? Now I'm going to try and do this so you guys can see. You take this, right? You take that and you then squish the wording. So they're up at the top there now. See them small? And I keep on squishing them so that they're gone. But it still shows up on the search phrases and it doesn't mess up your story. The same thing, if I'm going to do a location, I'm going to add, okay, that's where I am now. My location is in the middle, okay? You can see there, so there it is. I just take and I squish that location, keep squishing so it's gone, but it still shows up. Vital. You can add 15 of those hashtags to every story you do, and then your stories will show up on those hashtag stories as well. Squish it small, and it disappears, but it still shows up in the search engines. It's great, and it works. It really, really does. Yes, exactly like we do. So that's just one of the things you can look at. So from an algorithm point of view, just to kind of wrap up on that, what you're getting now, let me ask you this. How many of you are currently spending money? You're doing paid ads for your, or try to throw money at your posts to get more reach? Anybody tried that? Not. No. Okay, good. Is there a place for it? Yes, absolutely. But just to give you an idea how the algorithm works, when you post, no, not single one. Okay, if you're trying to sell prints, it can be handy. It can be, but it has to be done correctly. So the algorithm works as follows. You post something on Instagram. People need to spend time on it for the algorithm to understand that people want to spend time on your image. That is why long captions work. Don't just write lion in Madikwe. Go deeper, because if someone stops and they read your caption and they take time to read it, Instagram recognizes that people are spending time on your post. It sees it as valuable and it serves it to more of your followers. Do you think that when you post something, only all of your followers will see it? No, it's somewhere in the region of about 30% if you're lucky. If you're lucky. Instagram wants people to be on Instagram. Instagram wants popular content. So the deeper you go in your caption, the more people read. Videos on Instagram of a sighting, even if it's just from this, makes people stay on your feed and on that post. Instagram sees it as valuable, and then it serves it to more of your followers. Deep, long captions work, right? We've tried this in the office. We literally, 4 or 5 of us sit together, right? What if you're not good at writing? Hold that thought, Charlotte. And myself, Dankwitz, Mike, and Trevor, we'd all post literally at the same time, go. I might only see Dankwitz's tomorrow. I might never see Trevor's, right? Depending on how far down you scroll. But people need to spend time on your stuff. If you're not good at writing, let's say, for example, you post a great image of a lion, right? Do your little caption, write your own thing, and do something. It's simple. Do, hey, I photographed this lion in Madikwe. It was an amazing sighting. We spent 3 hours and the light was golden. A little bit more about lions. Go to Wikipedia, cut and paste general information, post it in your caption, and share it out. Suddenly you're going deep, and people, you're giving value. Then people will come back for your work. If you just post a lion image, if you just post and say, this is a lion, nobody gives a shit. They know it's a lion. Give them something more. Share your EXIF information. Charlotte, say, this was taken with a Nikon D4. It was a 300 lens, and so on and so forth. Give more, because people will come back, not just for your images, but the value you give to them. You either educate or you entertain online. Now think about this. Education could simply be, this is a lion. Did you know that the gestation of a lion is 110 days? You've taught someone something. Entertainment. You post a beautiful sunset image, silhouette of a lion. Someone sitting in New York City in an apartment because they can't go outside because of Corona. They see that. They've escaped for a little bit, for a moment. You've entertained them. It's not, there's so many different ways that you can do this. I'm going to quickly just jump to the questions here. Shaheen says, cool. Brendan says, a professional photographer recently told me I've missed the boat when it comes to Instagram. I still have under 1,000 followers. Do you think this is true? No, I don't think so. So here's the thing. Quickly, guys, I need a number. How many followers do you all have on Instagram right now? Ballpark. Just give me a quick number, more or less. How many followers do we have? 1525, 300, 121, 200, 420, half few, 2,105, 3,741. I like it. Okay. 880, not bad. 120. Okay, so here's the thing. 77,000, nice. 238. Okay, let's use 238 for example, right? We, less than 50, just sort of say, so I'm not sure how to go about it. I'm going to give you one last. Are you guys happy if I go over a couple of minutes? I always do. Shit, can't keep it quiet. Okay, so think about this. You do not need 80,000 people to follow you in order to sell them something or to add value or whatever the case is. Take your amount of followers in your head, the amount that you have. Now, imagine yourself having a picture of yours, right? What you're doing is you are literally standing up in a room with however many followers you have, sitting, watching you say, hey guys, this is my work. How many of you would feel comfortable? I saw 238 as a number, right? To stand up in front of people and say, this is my work. That's a shit ton of people. 880 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of people that are following you. So it's not about the numbers. It is not about the numbers. If you get caught in the numbers, Brendan, your professional photographer missed the boat, he's missing the boat. You need one person that pays attention. He needs one person that pays attention. But bring it on. My YouTube is saying almost 700 subs. That's amazing. That's right. 700 people. Put 700 people on a football field. That's a shitload of people, right? And most of you would stand there and think, oh shit, this is a lot of people to talk to. You've got their eyeballs. They are following you. So it's not about the number. So Brendan, I disagree with him completely. In a bigger picture, yes, Instagram might be over its peak and it's slowly sliding, but it's still got a long tail to go. That's why pay a lot of 80% of attention right now for most of you on Instagram and go to places like TikTok and YouTube. Cannot stress it enough. Cannot stress it enough. But no, the followers don't matter. They don't matter. So for who someone said they've just started with 50 people, right? 50 people is a lot of people. 50 people is a lot of people. So don't worry about that. Don't think, oh no, I can't sell anything because I've only got 200 and 300 and whatever, 2,412 followers. No, that's a lot of people that you can serve your content to. Really is. Next question here. Liz asks, do you add organizations by at them or hashtag them? If I'm so, like, for example, we're doing a fundraiser for the Mara Conservancy right now. So in the caption at the bottom, I would mention the caption, I would at them, at Mara Triangle, but I will also hashtag them. Double up, do both. 100% do both. Paul asks, with the new generation, do you think the attention span on Instagram is reducing and newer platforms like TikTok is where people are spending more time? 100% yes. 100% yes. I must be honest. It does help to sell when you have over 1,000 people, though. Yes, it does. Obviously, it's scale, but don't cripple yourself with doubt if you have fewer people. Don't. Right. So, but the question here, the new generation, do you think that Instagram is reducing the attention? And I must be honest with you, I'm very heavy on TikTok now, not just posting, but also scrolling, because it's good. It's fun. It's funny things, it's creative things, it's transitions and stuff, where sometimes on Instagram right now, there's politics, there's negative stuff, there's ads being served, and so on and so forth. And the interesting thing, just on a separate note here, TikTok as a brand and as a platform, and this is a weird thing, this lockdown couldn't have come at a better time for them, because people were at home creating. Dances, they were doing like all kinds of dances, whatever the case is, and it's blossomed. I'm loving TikTok for the creativity, the difference, just the good fun stuff. And like I said, go and look on Instagram. All of the big aggregator accounts, the stuff they're sharing is from there. So check it out. How many hours do you spend on social media every day? Funny, not actually as much as you would think. I find this easy to create content. I probably spend more time producing some of the content than on the platform, but I'll take a break in between the day, go and sit for 20 minutes, answer messages, and go on. I then also have my bubblegum mode where I'll just go and scan, which is not work, and I'll go to TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and just scroll, just consume. Because if you consume more, you get more ideas. So for me in a day, geez, interesting question. Maybe hour and a half at max. Yeah, I'm online, yeah. So not all that much, actually. Not all that much. But the value's there. Guys, the value is there. So let's kind of start pulling this together here. I would suggest, some say that TikTok will die after lockdowns. I don't think so. I think that's reached critical mass. And if you look at the brands that are producing on there, all the big names, every single brand is on there. And the cool thing, what TikTok has done, what other platforms have not, TikTok allows you to share the content from there to other platforms. So it's an easy distribution point for anybody to create, and they can just share it to the other platforms. So that every single platform will get less because people are going back to work. But to die, they've gone past, they're too big. And there's too many big brands and big ass influencers posting on there. Okay, one more question here. Do you think if you do paid advertising on Instagram and then stop spending, the algorithm works against you and doesn't give you enough visibility? No. What happens is if you post on Instagram, oh, Julie, you're 100% right. The world needs some dumb brand candy like TikTok right now. There's the truth. If you do paid advertising, if you post something and you pay money immediately, you're not going to get as much reach as if you post something on Instagram, you wait for a while, get some comments and likes on it, and then throw money at it. Because if you have likes and comments on there already, if it's got a bit of traction, the algorithm sees that, oh, this is relevant content because people are engaging with it. And then the creator believes enough in it to put money behind it, then you get more reach. So don't just throw money at it initially. Post it, get some comments, engage with every comment, and then throw money behind it. You get about a 12 to 15% more reach out of that. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. The interesting thing with all of this, guys, is this all changes tomorrow and next week. It is such a dynamic thing. I could do this webinar again in a month from now and probably be different stuff. Right now, this is how it works. It's a pretty cool thing. So to pull it together, right? You need to be posting on Instagram. You need to be using stories. If for some of you, you don't want to comment, I've heard some people say that they don't want to comment on, or they don't want comments on their work. Just close the comments off then. It's kind of counterproductive because that is stopping the social media, but still you can do that. You can do that. Use stories, right? Use things like TikTok. Just make videos and post them on TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram. Create something on YouTube, make a highlight clip, post it on Instagram. I can do hours on this, right? As ideas for content, but you have to get your work out there regardless of what you want to do. If you want to sell prints, give it away for free. Not all of them, but go into your feed and say, hey guys, if you want this print, email me as tell me why you want it or what your favorite animal is. You're going to get email addresses. You're building a database. And more than likely, if people wanted something for free and you're nice about it and you give them value, they're going to come back to you. It's human nature, really. It really is. Yeah. What's Sally say? Wow, you've got 41,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, it's been growing nicely. Anyway, guys, I might do a follow-up on this one and just kind of talk more. There's so much on this. There's so much to this. And we might be able to do more, more kind of practical, like how would I do this? How would I do that? But what I can do is, you guys have my email address or you've got me on Instagram, right? Gerry@wildeye.co.za. Wildeye, 2 words with a dash in between, .co.za. If you want the document I showed you and that graphic with all the sizes, please email me. And if you have specific questions you would like to do in a second edition of this, right? Then ask me that question in there. And then the next version, 2.0 of this, we can go even deeper. So drop me a mail. It should be fun. Make it a game. It's fun. So drop me an email and we can do 2.0. I'll use all the questions you guys had from there. And yeah, let's go from there. If you have any questions on your own Instagrams, tag me on there. Send me a direct message and say, check this out. I'm happy to help. And let's see what we can do with it. Right. Guys, nice one. Just a bit of talk all around. Send me an email if you want that. I will see you guys online. And thank you for lending me your ears and your eyeballs. Wherever in the world you are, good morning, good evening, and good night. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eye. Have a good one. Good night.